In this video, I'm going to show you the simplest way to determine how much protein you should be eating for optimal health. No calculations required. I'm also going to give you some advanced strategies, so make sure to stick around until the end of the video. These are the exact same tips that I give to all my students, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. So you know it works. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video every week. It really helps support my channel. All right, let's get into it. So, how much protein should you eat for optimal health? What's the magic number? The answer is actually twofold. First, it's on a per meal basis. You need to eat at least 30 to 50 grams of high quality protein per meal. By high quality, I'm talking about protein from animals and animal products because it has the most abundant and bioavailable amino acids. Bioavailable means the body absorbs it better. In case you didn't know, there are 20 amino acids, 9 of them are essential, meaning the body can't make it or can't make it in sufficient quantity. Leucine being the most prominent amino acid because it triggers the all-important muscle protein synthesis through mTOR. mTOR is short for mammalian target of rapamycin. 30 grams of protein is very easy to get if you're eating animals and animal products. It's 4 ounces of meat or 6 ounces of fish. It's a couple of eggs and 3 slices of bacon. Or it's 1 scoop of high quality whey protein. If you're plant-based, you need a mind-bending 6 cups of quinoa, which also contains all 9 essential amino acids, to get those minimum of 30 grams, which is just metabolically devastating. It's catastrophic to your insulin levels eating that much carbs. And I've talked about the importance of moderating insulin ad nauseum on my channel. You don't want to have a massive insulin response from your meals. It doesn't matter that it's slow carbs, that's actually not a good thing. It means that your body has a hard time digesting it because of its anti-nutrient content. That's why there's really no argument between getting your protein from plants versus animals. Any sane person would know that eating a piece of steak is not the same as eating kale. It's just not. Pause this video and look at this nutrient comparison side by side. It's not even close. At the same time, plants, like I just mentioned, contain anti-nutrients which slows down the absorption of nutrients. Tofu, for example, another plant-based protein option with all 9 essential amino acids, also contains trypsin inhibitors which blocks trypsin, an enzyme needed to properly digest protein. Do you see the irony in that? It also contains phytates, another type of anti-nutrient, which reduces the absorption of important minerals like calcium, zinc, and iron. You also need to eat 2 hard blocks of tofu, around 240 grams, to get those 30 grams of protein to initiate muscle protein synthesis. That is a lot of tofu just to get 30 grams. Eating a steady source of anti-nutrients can lead to inflammation and gut issues, among other things. So yeah, it's up to you where you get your protein. Now, the USDA RDA is a measly 0 grams per kilogram of body weight. So a 180-pound or an 82-kilo person would theoretically only need to eat 65 grams of protein. That is not enough. The definition of RDA is the minimum intake to prevent a deficiency. It does not make it optimal. There is a world of difference between the two. According to the work of Dr. Gabriel Lyon and Dr. Donald Lehman, one of the world's leading experts in protein research, you should actually aim for 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. So if your ideal body weight is 150 pounds, you should aim to eat 100 grams of protein every day. Simple, right? Now, the more important question you should be asking is, why is protein so important? Why do you need 30 to 50 grams per meal and eat 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight in pounds? I already gave away the answer earlier, but those numbers trigger muscle protein synthesis. Muscle, in case you didn't know, is actually the largest organ in the body. It's an endocrine organ. Endocrine are the glands that release hormones into the blood. When muscle contracts, aka when you exercise, it releases myokines, which are proteins that travel through the body to protect your bones and your brain. It also helps with nutrition partitioning, glucose disposal, fatty acid oxidation, and it's anti-inflammatory. BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor, is another myokine that gets released by muscle when you exercise, which is often touted as miracle-grow for the brain because it helps with memory. Oddly enough, inactivity seems to impair this myokine release. We often look at muscle as kind of just this aesthetic thing. That's actually its least important function. It's our metabolic currency. It's the key driver of our metabolism. It determines everything about our body composition. More importantly, it's a key indicator of lifespan. It's the organ of longevity. The higher the muscle mass, the better the protection against all-cause mortality. And this is crucial for diseases of aging like type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's, which is actually type 3 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. It actually all starts in the muscle first. So the best way to fix everything is by optimizing muscle and changing your entire weight loss paradigm. It's not about being over fat, which is actually why it hasn't worked for so many people. It really is, from a metabolic perspective, about being under muscled. You have to fix your metabolic composition first. If you optimize muscle by eating enough protein and doing resistance training, the weight will come off and you're gonna prevent that weight regain. I've literally never met anyone who complained about having muscle and said that their life got worse. No. Muscle makes everything better. But if you focus on just purely weight loss and just cutting calories, the byproduct is usually not eating enough protein and you're always hungry. Eventually, you're gonna run into some problems because it's not about the weight you lose, it's about the quality. Because if you just cut calories, which is often the common advice, the weight you lose is actually both fat and muscle. But if you do it strategically by optimizing muscle, the majority of the weight can just be fat. And no, eating meat does not cause cancer, it's not bad for the kidneys, or maybe you're still under the belief that fat makes you fat, you need to avoid fatty cuts of meat because of the cholesterol. No. That is called conventional stupidity, and those claims have now been massively disproven. Not eating red meat is one of the worst dietary advice out there, but people just get brainwashed after watching biased documentaries like What the Health or Game Changers. That advice is irresponsible and dangerous. Any study that claims that eating red meat is bad is based on nothing but epidemiological studies, which are observational studies that can only establish correlation but not causation. It's not real science. And again, it's usually from an anti-animal narrative. It's very emotional for these people. But at what cost? Because vegans, time and time again, have been shown to have the least amount of muscle mass and bone density. Oftentimes, you hear them having gut issues and their hair and teeth are falling out. That does not sound like a very healthy diet to me. Did you know that beef from regenerative and sustainable sources are actually carbon negative? Also, the more muscle you have, the more metabolic flexibility and carb flexibility you have. This is when you get to earn your carbs. Carbs aren't necessarily a bad thing as long as it doesn't disrupt homeostasis. The general rule is to keep it under 40 grams per meal to keep insulin moderated. It's also better if you have them after your workout because you're more insulin sensitive. Your muscle suitcase is open to take in those carbs, which get stored as glycogen. This is why muscle is your metabolic currency. It's the largest site for glucose disposal. When you think about your basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of calories you burn at rest, it's the amount of muscle you have. Mark Sisson, one of my favorite authors, is my favorite example of what's possible with having a lot of lean muscle mass as you age. He's 67 years old and he looks like that. Talk about aging gracefully. Heck, he looks better than most people half his age. When it comes to dietary fat, I want you to treat it more as a lever because you can get your fats from the food that you eat, or you can get it from your butt, thighs, and belly. If you have excess body fat that you want to lose, which one would you rather use? Now, how many meals should you eat every day? Ideally, just 2 in a 6 to 8 hour eating window. You can do 3, but again, every meal needs to have at least 30 to 50 grams of protein to initiate muscle protein synthesis. Eating that much protein every meal also helps greatly with satiety, which is the last piece of the puzzle. You're not hungry again after 2 hours. And that immediately takes care of the snacking and overeating / emotional eating that's a big problem for a lot of people. This is why you're always hungry on a low protein diet. Your body is going to signal you to keep eating until it gets the protein that it needs to activate your satiety hormones. Remember, weight loss in its very essence is not about counting calories, it's about controlling hunger. So if you can control hunger by eating enough protein, weight loss becomes inevitable. Plain and simple, getting enough high-quality protein to initiate muscle protein synthesis should be your #1 priority when it comes to your diet. And now you know exactly what those numbers are. The next question then becomes, How are you actually supposed to eat if you want to lose weight? Because here's the thing. 80% of your body composition is determined by your diet. You can't just freestyle this part. Do you have a proven plan that you can follow? To help you with that, I want to give you a free copy of my Lean Body Blueprint. This is how I was finally able to get rid of all my unwanted body fat without depriving myself of my favorite foods or spending countless hours at the gym. It's a simple 4-step process specifically designed for busy professionals, and it's the exact same blueprint that I teach to all my students, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. If you want to be the next success story, then download your free copy of the Lean Body Blueprint right now. There's going to be a link somewhere at the top here or in the description box. Just click on it, type in your email, and I'll send it to you right away. Hey, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a new video every week, and feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions about this video. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Virtual high five.